Gloria Victis has been a ton of fun so far. The PvP is pretty thought-provoking, extremely engaging, and there's a little bit of strategy involved in the group aspect of it as well. Starting out in the game isn't too terribly difficult, but today I wanted to go over 10 tips that'll actually help you start off leaps and bounds ahead of the other players. So guys, sit back, grab yourself a beer, let's talk about it. Alright, for the first tip, it's inevitable that you're going to end up pulling 2 enemies at once, or fighting 2 people at once. With that in mind, always try and keep them in a line, by constantly maneuvering and sidestepping. Remember the Spartans 300 strong?
This is Sparta!
One main reason that they were able to defend themselves so long against the overwhelming numbers of their enemy is by bottlenecking their opponent, reducing the amount of enemies able to attack them at once. This is essentially what you're doing by causing them to be in a line, making it much more difficult for the enemy or enemies in the back to reach you. Alright, and for tip number 2, since we're on the topic of combat, the second tip is to set a keybind for thrust and overheads. By hitting escape, then clicking settings, then this little keyboard icon here, scroll down to combat on the right side and you will see all the directionals. Personally, I put my thrust for my middle mouse button. Number 3. Right now, if you have a two-handed weapon, you have to use the directionals to block. However, with a shield, it blocks for the full 180 degrees in front of you. For this reason alone, in PvP, it's mostly recommended to use a one-handed weapon and shield. Currently though, most people are using a short spear and a shield. Although I have noticed, switching that up tends to throw some people off and they don't tend to know what to do when you pull out your one-handed axe and don't just thrust 100% of the time. Number 4. If you're playing with a friend or in a guild, it's important that you select someone as your mentor. By hitting P, it will take you to the party finder. On the right side, you'll see an area to select your mentor. Doing this will award the person you have selected as your mentor when you reach level 50, 60, and 100. Now, mentor points improve the chance to succeed in various chance-based activities and get better loot from boxes and chests. New players can reward a player with mentor points and contribution points for helping them. Players with high amounts of mentor points are sought after for reinforcing items because they have a higher chance of success. So obviously it's a good idea to ask someone to put you as a mentor. Or just be a really good member of the community so they do so out of their own free will. My character's name is Pwnstar, FYI. That's Pwnstarr, for all you guys looking for a mentor. Number 5. I hate and love to say that Gloria Victis has dailies, also called daily challenges. Press H to bring up the achievements menu, and then select daily challenges to bring up the list and make your selections. You can choose 3 dailies out of a list of about 20 per day. Dailies can be completed infinitely, but they become progressively more difficult, and they also stop rewarding contribution points after the 12th challenge completion. Number 6, inventory can be a pain. Using silver and eventually gold will allow you to open up more bag slots. As you open up more bag slots, it gets more expensive. Stick your resources in your bank when possible and either sell your resources at the marketplace in the capital city or use them when possible to increase your crafting skills. Make sure you're at the correct hub, therefore helping your chance to make better items. It's never good to be completely full on loot and far from a depot to drop them off. Which leads us to tip number 7. If you are in fact far from a depot, you can actually hit escape and use the unstuck to capital city or unstuck to nearest waypoint to travel to those choices. I'm sure there's a cooldown or some type of restriction and keeping from players using this constantly, and if there isn't already, I would imagine that there will be based on just how easy it is to exploit this and to get around wherever you need to. Number 8, since we're talking about the capital city and traveling around fast, in that capital city, near the stables, there's a man named Logistician, I guess is how you say it. Either way, this man will, for a small fee, he'll fast travel you to different points in the world, making traveling much easier. Number 9, make sure you're equipping the correct tier of weapons and armor. The only way to be able to equip the next tier is to be wearing the highest tier available to wear. So if you're trying to equip that blue short spear and you only have a green one-handed axe and a gray short spear, you should equip the green one-handed axe to be able to get to the blue short spear. Man, that's a mouthful. Hitting the Z button will show your progress. Although, keep in mind, not only does this experience tree expand vertically, but it also expands horizontally, increasing the damage of each tier of weapons or defensive armor. And for number 10, don't bank or hold your stat and skill points while you level. Play around with them and use them. You can respec for free and at will as many times as you'd like up to level 90. Now keep in mind, however, after level 90, you'll need to use conquest points or ambers to purchase ability point reset from the Glory Quartermaster. And there you have it, folks. There's 10 tips that I would recommend to a new player starting out on Gloria Victis. I myself am a pretty new player as well, so I found these to be extremely useful. If you like this sort of content, please do me a favor, smash that like button as it helps with discoverability for not just my channel, but also Gloria Victis. As more content creators are out there and they start making more content for Gloria Victis, as will the population grow, giving us more targets to kill or allies to kill those targets with. Also, be sure and subscribe to my channel, as I not only play Gloria Victis, but I also mostly play Ultima Online Outlands, as well as other games. So with that, guys, shout out to the Patreons, the channel members, and you guys for liking this channel. Be sure and come by the live streams most evenings at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. Other than that, guys, I'll see you next time. Pwn Star Gaming out.